Welcome to the third part of our advanced hover video series. And if you haven't checked part 1 or 2, go check them right now, or you can stay here, wherever. Today we'll be covering this effect that you can use for your product or project cards, where you hover on the instance and like image appears or disappears, text appears or disappears, something is happening. And what's beautiful about this feature, similar to the one in the example number 2, is that you don't have to recreate this interaction effect over and over. You can just create a symbol with one card, and then you can create different instances of the same symbol with different images and titles, and you can edit them all from one source, which is fast, and fast is good sometimes. So let's go here to our sandbox, and here's what we will need for this effect. We will need an image, we will need a rectangle of the same size, and we will need a name. And this name we can make white, so we can see it right here, so it's similar to what we have in the example. And here is a certain sequence of actions that you should follow in terms to make it right and not to be frustrated, like I am sometimes when I'm not making it right. So first thing you should do is to create a symbol out of those objects. So select all 3 elements, hit the symbol button. You're already supposed to know how to do that, and you can call it a demo card because it's a demo. And now we have a symbol. Here it is. Nice. What we can do now is we have to go to the edit symbol mode, right, by pressing right here, edit source mode. And here is our symbol's source. And now we have to create interaction inside a symbol. Sounds hard, but it's easy. And here I cover a couple pitfalls that you might face if you do something different, and I will show you some of them. So first, initial reaction, it is like we can use this element as a trigger of our interaction, and then we can go from here. And it's wrong, but I'll show you why. And I'll go this way with you and show you why it's not gonna work and how to do it right. So we create interaction, we call it demo card interaction, wherever, looks easy. We can select hover here, we go to state number 2, and in the state number 2 we can decrease the opacity of this object to 0, and we can also move this little guy down right here and also increase its opacity to 0. Now it's supposed to work. And we can go to the step number 1 and also maybe decrease opacity to be like 50. So now it seems like it's working, but let's go to the staging and see what's up. So we have it here, but you see it jumps. It looks horrible. Why? Easy. Because your rectangle is a trigger, and when it disappears, it triggers like when you hover on it, it disappears, and if it disappears, it removes the hover action. And then basically it goes into a loop and your computer might blow up, because mathematically it's not right. Anyway, to do it right, let's go back to the edit symbol. We can kill this interaction altogether. We don't need that. And we can create it once again, but now we will use image as a trigger. That's an important bit. If you understand that, you'll be enjoying your interactions a lot. And while doing that, we can also do a trick. We can say never, we can set hit through on our rectangle and on our title, so they're never gonna go in a way of our interaction. Now we can select image, create class, create a proper demo card interaction, set our steps. So step number 2, this guy will disappear. Step number 1, I think now it's all right. And we also want this title to disappear. So we can, for example, we can move it also, but let's keep it simple. We can disappear it right here. So now you can add any kind of also effects to that. For example, for the number 2, maybe you can, I'm improvising here, but you can create a little bit of scale. So it will be disappearing just like that and appearing wherever. Also important thing to notice that since we are in the symbol editing and we'd like to change this title for different instances and we want it also to be in a center, here in the alignment we should select this little center box. You'll see why that's helpful later. Let's hit save. Also let's double check if we have our interaction on hover or on a click. I'm always missing this part. Let's change it back to click. Then let's go save it and let's go to our staging. Let's reload it. And now it works. See, beautiful with nice animation. This one works. And now we can go back to sandbox. Now we want to create different instances of the very same hover. You can go to symbols, select demo card, put it just here. You can double click and say that this one be another name, and as you see right now it's perfectly centered because we made it so. And then you can also select this card and you can change this image to be some other image, just for example like that. Done. Let's go back to staging and we have 2 instances of the same interaction, and you can create multiple. And you can also play with all the different settings. So that's just how to say, like a template for you to play around. Alright, that was our effect number 3. We improvised a little bit, but basically the same thing. And I'll see you all in the video number 4, where we'll be discussing this little one. This hover effect, when you hover on the text and images appear randomly on a screen. For the ones of you that seen part 1 and part 2 and part 3, I guess you already know how to do that, but anyway, we'll cover it in a moment. Thank you.